Hey guys, I've just discovered some brand new evidence of ancient aliens and UFOs in India. You're going to look at cave paintings of a spacecraft and ancient astronauts for the very first time. These cave paintings are in a remote village called Onakekindi in southern India. Remember, cave paintings of extraterrestrials were discovered 3 years ago in India, but the cave paintings I'm going to show you now is in a totally new location, which is 800 miles away. These paintings not only show ancient astronauts, but also show the actual spacecraft, the flying saucer in which they landed. But is this really a flying saucer, a spacecraft? Let's take a good look at what this painting shows. A large spherical object with two human-like figures standing inside. They seem to be holding something like a ladder, as though to get down from the top. The legs of these figures are painted like waves instead of straight lines. On top, there is a small chamber which seems to have some devices. It's a shame we can't see the rest of the details because the painting has faded away. Now, before we go any further, let's take a step back and look at it objectively, like an archaeologist. Is it possible that there is a simpler explanation? What if these are just human beings standing inside a large wheel? What if these two guys are just regular people inside a spherically designed house and are using a ladder? But such a scenario is impossible. Why? Because all experts agree that these are prehistoric cave paintings, which means these paintings were created by cavemen who did not know how to create a wheel or to build even a mud hut. This is exactly why these cavemen were living in these caves. Experts confirm that these paintings were created thousands of years before human beings learned how to build homes, temples, and wheels. These primitive men did not even have metal tools and were hunting animals with stone tools. This is why cave paintings all over the world show very primitive depictions. You will see human beings, their families, and animals, nothing else. In the same location, we can see similar cave paintings. Here are the human beings, their families, and animals they were hunting. All experts agree that cave paintings tend to be the most original depictions of real life because the cavemen had no imagination. They painted only what they saw. So what could this possibly be? This cannot be a house because cavemen did not know how to build a house, and even today it is nearly impossible to build a spherical house. This cannot be a wheel and this cannot be a ladder because they were invented thousands of years later. So what else could this be? If cavemen only painted what they saw, how could they paint such an advanced structure, a sphere with humanoids inside? And this is not even a simple sphere. It also has 10 smaller circles inside its circumference, strangely reminding us of a UFO. What else could this show other than the scenario that these cavemen saw extraterrestrials descending from the sky in a flying saucer? In fact, there is a much bigger clue in these cave paintings that this spacecraft was seen in the sky. If you look at the entire cave, all human beings and animals are painted at your eye level on a vertical plane, which shows they were all at ground level. But the flying saucer is actually painted on top on a horizontal plane, so you would have to look up to see it, showing that this is a spacecraft that came down from the sky. If extraterrestrials did come in a flying saucer and landed here, the cavemen would have also seen these ancient astronauts. If this is true, wouldn't the cavemen have also painted the ancient astronauts? So I began searching the area for more cave paintings. Since the spacecraft painting can be seen only by looking up, The paintings of ancient astronauts may also be found by looking up. This means I should go under these slanted rocks and look at the ceiling. It turns out that there are more cave paintings in the same area, and I find startling paintings that do look like astronauts. This figure has a rounded helmet with an antenna on top. It has 2 hands and 2 legs, but it also has 4 wires coming out of its body. There is also a similar figure with the same helmet and antenna nearby. We can't help but think these are the same 2 astronauts shown inside the spacecraft. Now, we also begin to see some advanced designs. This one looks somewhat like a swastika. This is incredible because these figures look completely different from paintings about human beings. If we compare the astronaut-like paintings with the rest of the human beings, there are lots of differences. The human beings are holding a stick or a stone tool trying to kill animals. They are always shown with 2 arms and 2 legs. There are no wires coming out of their bodies. Also, these human beings are not shown with round helmets. Their heads look like human heads, and they don't have antennas coming out of their heads either. So, if these figures are not extraterrestrials, what else could they be? Does this conclusively prove that extraterrestrials landed here and made contact with these cavemen thousands of years ago? What would have happened after the initial contact? Historians will refuse to answer these questions, but let's take a look at human history for a minute. History books tell us that human beings began walking upright nearly 200,000 years ago. Yet, we remained as hunters and behaved like all other animals for 99% of this time period. And remarkably, in the last few thousand years, we suddenly went from living in caves to reaching Mars. This sudden change in gradual development is simply not possible without an external catalyst being involved. In high school chemistry, we learned that chemical reactions are usually slow, but when a catalyst is added, the reaction rate spikes up dramatically. The question is this: did human beings also achieve a sudden spike in development due to the arrival of extraterrestrials? How else can we explain the rapid change of human beings from living in caves to building the largest megalithic structures in a very short time? This pace of technological advancement is impossible without someone else teaching us how to create these structures. Did ancient astronauts who came in flying saucers teach the primitive cavemen to build these incredible structures? Is it possible that all human civilization began this way? I've searched inside the first cave as well, trying to find more evidence of similar paintings. I did not find anything related to spacecraft or astronauts, but I will try to post more of what I found in a different video. I could possibly find a lot more evidence in this area if I spend more time. But believe it or not, this whole area is private property located inside locked gates. So I was denied entry the next day, which made it impossible to find more evidence. Now, since historians and archaeologists have no record of these paintings, I've been talking to the locals, trying to understand what they know about these paintings. Sometimes local stories reveal a lot more interesting information than what's in history books. In my next video, I will show you more proof of extraterrestrials in a totally new location and how local stories and new evidences conclusively prove that ancient astronauts landed on Earth. So, what do you think? Do the paintings of the UFO and ancient astronauts prove that extraterrestrials landed on Earth? How else can we explain this spherical object with humanoids sitting inside? Who are these figures with helmets and antennas? And why do they look very different from paintings of human beings? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. please do share this video with your friends, because this is a new discovery. This is brand new evidence that could change our history books, which give us a limited perspective of what really happened in the past. I'm Praveen Mohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.